I'd like to do a quick lesson on changing mixed numbers to improper fractions and improper fractions into mixed numbers. So let's start with some improper fractions. Remember, an improper fraction has a larger numerator and a smaller denominator, like 15/4. And that's improper. And improper means does not look right, is not right, not correct. So let's change it into a mixed number. Now, I have taught you guys that this fraction line means to divide. A fraction is actually a division problem. So we're going to do 15 divided by 4. So I'm going to write that as a normal division problem. 15 divided by 4. Okay? And I set it up. And I know that there is nothing that I can multiply by 4 to equal 1. So I know I can put my 0 there. Now, 4 times what is close to or equals to 15? And I believe the closest number I can come to is 3, because 3 times 4 equals 12. And that's as close as I can get, because 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 would just be too large. So now I subtract. 15 minus 12 is 3. And this is my remainder. But remember, I'm wanting to make a mixed number, which is a whole number with a fraction next to it. So the quotient, this number, is my whole number. Okay, he's how many wholes I get when I divide 15 by 4. Now my fraction is going to be the remainder and my divisor. So my new mixed number, and I like to do a little what people call the popcorn method, 3 and 3/4. So I can write my new mixed number as 3 and 3/4. So 15/4 is equal to 3 and 3/4. And notice the denominator always stays the same when we're changing mixed numbers to improper fractions or improper fractions to mixed number. Let's try another one. Let's say I have 23 fifths. Let's go with fifths. Okay, so remember, that's an improper fraction, and I want to turn it to a mixed number. So I'm going to divide. This is actually a division problem. 23 divided by 5. So I'm going to write it like that. 23 divided by 5. And again, I know that 5 times nothing will be close to or equal to 2. So now I'm going to move over a little bit, and now I've got 23. Now I know 5 times 5 is 25, but that's going to be too big. So let's try 5 times 4, which is 20. I subtract, and 23 minus 20 is 3. Again, this guy right here is my whole number. So I'm going to say to myself, as I do my little popcorn method, I'm going to say 4 and 3/5. So I'm going to write it as 4 and 3/5. Let's do one more. Let's do 31/8. Let's try 31/8. Again, it's a division problem. So we're going to do 31 divided by 8. We'll set it up like this. We know that 3 cannot be divided by 8, so it's going to work 0 times. Now 31. Well, 8 times 4 is 32. Again, that's too big, so we'll try 8 times 3, which is 24. I subtract. 31 minus 24, or I could regroup, and 11 minus 4 is 7. And so my new mixed number, there's my whole number. Okay, so I could go ahead and write him down, and then I could do the popcorn method and say it to myself as I do it. 3 and 7/8. Excuse me, let me do that again. 3 and 7/8. So I'll write it like that. 3 and 7/8. So there we are, changing mixed numbers to improper fractions, or improper fractions to a mixed number. So let's try the other way around. Let's say we wanted to check our answer. So we can use these right here. So let's say we wanted to check our answer and change this mixed number back into the improper fraction. And so there's several ways to do that, using base 10 blocks, using fraction strips and things like that. But I'm going to show you kind of a quick way where we just multiply and then add. And I like to do my little half circle here to show which way we're going. Okay? First of all, we do know that the denominator will always stay the same. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, and then I'm going to add 3 to that. 12 plus 3 is 15. And looky there, we've got the same answer. So we were able to change 3 and 3/4 back into 15/4. Let's try 4 and 3/5. So I set my multiplication and addition up, show that I'm going this way, and remember my denominator is going to stay the same. 5 times 4 is 20, and then I'm going to do 20 plus 3, which is 23. So 23/5. Let's try one more. Again, I set it up as a multiplication problem and an addition problem. 8s will be my denominator. 8 times 3 is 24. And now I add 24 plus 7, which is 31. And there we go, 31/8. So that's changing improper fractions to mixed numbers, and mixed numbers back into improper fractions.